Hello, good morning. Welcome to Stampin' Chat, an exciting day today. It's Tuesday the 3rd of May and we have a new catalogue launch. So I'm just going to check that I'm live in the right place. Check on the view. My hair is fly away again today. It's very like all these endy bits. It's that weather. It's kind of a bit grey and damp outside. And my hair just doesn't like it. It kind of really dries it out. So I'm hoping there'll be somebody joining this morning. I'll wait for some people to come in. So yeah, very exciting day today. The new 2022-23 annual catalogue has launched. So it's live, you can shop from it. Excited that I can actually open up the front cover with you today and just share a couple of my favourite things. Although I feel like I've been using my favourite things already that I've been sharing on my lives. Good morning, Janet, if you're able to chat. How are you doing? How are you both? How are you holding up? Is Derek home yet? Is he out of hospital? Bless him. So yeah, a very exciting day. I'm going to be live hopefully at 2 p.m. in my VIP group this afternoon, and then later this evening I will be going live and to make another creation. So I'll be posting about that as a reminder shortly. So I've got a whole host of things to get done today. Big long list. I've got retired products to get sorted out for my bog off sale. I've got orders to place. I've just got loads of stuff that I need to get on with. So I think I might set you down and hope that some more people stop in. Sorry, I'm trying to read and multitask and do more than one thing in one go. And as much as I think I'm good at that, I'm obviously not. I can't concentrate anymore. Right, so let's just make a bit of room. Move a few things around. Excuse the palm of the hand. If you are hopping in, please do say hello. So I'll just set you down. Try and do this as quickly as I can so that you aren't seeing the palm of the hand for too long. It's very quiet on here this morning. Where are you all? I know it's launch day. I know a lot of you are busy. I've been busy this morning as well. I was up at the crack of dawn. Let's just get the grid paper where we want it to be started. Let's move this over a bit and go with that. Just the lighting. Yeah, I was up at the crack of dawn, awake early again. Nothing new there. Good morning, Ellie. Oh, you have had the Dwarf Olympics. Is that what you call it? Is it Dwarf Olympics? My brain has gone. It's been kind of a long, busy weekend, but I hope you've had a fabulous time. I haven't been kind of catching up with what you've been up to, but I hope that Jacob had an amazing time and that he got lots of medals. So I'll be excited to hear. Bless him. Okay, so this morning, I thought I would bring you, I have shown you the front cover of this. Let's get the grid paper taped down before we go any further. I have shown you the front cover of this stamp set. I don't know if I've stamped with it. I think the only thing I've used is this here. I absolutely adore this little trio of dots. Really good for like infilling white space, creating backgrounds and things. So really, really handy. And then it also coordinates with this set. Now, you all know, you've seen this every week I've come on since I've had this from pre-order. Just moving my chair out of the way. You've seen me pull this out because it is just so useful. And I love that it coordinates with the framed occasions. And you can see where the coordination is. We've got the circle die that cuts out this greeting. And then we have got the hexagon that cuts out this one as well. So I love that it leaves that solid frame around it. So I'm going to be focusing on these two this morning. Now, if you are on my, I need to get those stamps out. If you are on my mailing list, you will have had links to the PDF version of the catalogue today. That went out first thing. And I've also updated my Facebook page and links on my blog as well. So if you want to shop online, probably quickest way is go to www.kerrytims.co.uk and click on the shop button at the top. But you can also view the PDF catalogue via the tab at the top that says catalogues. There's a drop down menu and you'll get the mini catalogue and the annual catalogue, and you can browse either of those. So let's just mount what we need and then we can put this stamp set away. What am I using? I think we're just using this one. Now, something to mention about a stamp where the centre has been kind of taken out. Can you see how unstable this is? And what I tend to do is just drop it down onto my surface and then pick it straight up, and hopefully that should be in line with the die. If for any reason when you stamp it and it's a bit out of line, then you can just lift it and kind of move it. What else do we need? We want some flowers, some foliage, and a greeting. So we'll mount all of these. Love this set a lot. And I've loved creating with it as well. Need to get another block. So how are we all doing? Did you have a great weekend? Ellie, I know you've been super busy with your sports. Probably quite a long weekend for you as well, travelling and everything. But first, before we go into anything else, there's just a couple of things I want to mention. So I'm glad that I can finally open up the front cover. But we have a fabulous promotion that has gone live this morning as well. So between now and the end of May, you can earn yourself a lot of free in colour products. So you'll get a pack of grid paper, pack of the cardstock, that's the collection, so you get a selection of each colour, the whole ink pad set, and the designer series paper that you've seen me use as well. And they are all free on top of your starter kit, which is at the general price of £99. You fill that kit with anything you choose up to the value of £130. It ships to you for free. You also get catalogues and things as well. And remember, as much as I would love you to join my team and do this as a business, that isn't for everyone. So the opportunity is there for you to simply join, place your own orders and earn a discount on the product. So there is no pressure whatsoever. You don't have to do Facebook Lives and classes and things like I do. I choose to run this as a business, so that's why I do that. Good morning, Jacqueline. How are you doing? How are you? So that's the promotion that has gone live this morning. I will flash this quickly as well. I'm doing an in colour share. Emails have gone out about that, I hope. So I'm going to be doing a share of in colour products. So some of the embellishments, some paper, some cardstock, some ribbons. And I'm also going to include some of the tea boutique cards and envelopes, which I can show you. But first, let's just have a little flick as we are allowed to look inside. I know some of you have already seen this before. For a demonstrator, you've had your paper copy, hopefully, for a little while, and you've been able to browse. But you have seen me use this set so much over the last kind of month. The cup of tea is probably my all-time favourite at the moment, but there's still loads of things that I really want. So I'm just going to show you a couple of favourites. Framed occasions, that's what we're using today. Now, it's not on a bundle with those dies. Just remember that, it's not a bundle. It just coordinates with them. So absolutely love that. I'm loving this birthday piggy. I think that is just so cute. It's going to be really fun, lovely for children's cards and adults alike. I am ordering this today. Absolutely love. I say this all the time. I absolutely love things. It's because I genuinely do. I just think this is beautiful. It's called Cottage Rose. Beautiful set. Look at the papers. Absolutely stunning. I need to make a decision on which stamp set I'm using for my creative escape as well, so I am tempted on this one. Botanical Layers, I do have that one here. Haven't even inked it yet. I've mounted it, it's ready to go, just haven't had chance to ink it. And I'm going to be using, am I using some of the vellum? No, that's later, but I will show you that vellum after. So that's on a bundle with the vellum, so another favourite of mine. Of course, if you want to find out what products we've got for the ink colours, go to page 122. You can see them all here. All my little dots are for my reference so that I know what refills I've got, what ink pads I've got in the new style and things like that. So that vellum there, which is gorgeous, I will show you that after. It's on page 139 and it's the lovely layers. Really gorgeous vellum. You get lots of blank sheets in there as well. And then another favourite, which is winging its way to me, are some more dies. They're called Stylish Shapes. And although they just look like plain dies, like with straight edges, if I show you an example done with them, or actually there is a picture of them, can you see they are like stitched, which is my dream. So super excited for those to arrive. Now I'm going to be doing more in my VIP group with the catalogue later, but for now we need to get crafting. I promised I would try and bring you some parakeet party, and I have done that today. I have achieved, I am pleased with myself. I've inked it up, I've added it on a card, and I'm pleased with the results, so I hope you like it too. So I'm going to be using Starry Sky, which is a new ink colour, teaming it with Coastal Cabana and Parakeet Party. Let me move you out of the way. I've also pulled out my stripes and splatters embossing folders. Put those over by my machine. Of course, I'm using the framed occasions. Just love this set. I think it's brilliant. There are no dies that cut out any of these images and the flowers, but they're pretty simple to trim around. Then, of course, I'm going to be using some of the in colour papers. I've already shown you these before. So this pack is what you will get included in your starter kit, along with the ink pads, along with the grid paper, and along with a pack, oh, it was a bit got astray, along with a pack of cardstock as well. So let's put these all ready and bring in my first kit. Got 2 cards to create with you today. And there's not a lot happening with this kit just yet. So there's a lot of white going on, which is very typical of me. But also, I'm going to be doing obviously some stamping and adding, but I'm also going to be using just a sheet of this. Now, I have created another card. So these are the lovely layers, vellum. You've got 60 sheets in here, and you've got quite a few blank sheets. I've been chopping into these blank ones. Now, I don't know if this is as thick. I will get a sheet and we will see, as our general vellum. But you get this lovely, is that the right side? It looks pale. Move you out of the way. We get this lovely kind of spotty frame. This, which you can see is very typical as coordinating with the stamp set. Isn't it beautiful? So you can replicate that, which I love. So you've got all these blank layers. You can add colours to these. I think you get, is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 of each sheet. Then we have this one here, which is a lovely background. Could add a bit of colour to that. And then we have this one here, which is just going to be very handy. You can pop anything inside there, anything around there, just to add a lovely layer. And for me, I think these are great. So if I was layering up a card and I didn't want to have like too much of a stark background behind with colours that are too bright for me to use, then I love that the vellum kind of just tones it down. Good morning, Kay. How are you doing? Hope you are good. Hope you had a good weekend. So we're just talking about the, is it Lovely Vellum? Lovely Layers Vellum pack. So yeah, it's great for toning down colours, which for me, someone who struggles with bright colours, you know, that is great. Good morning, Vicky. Good evening. Okay, I'm glad you're all okay. It's good to hear. So, and then you get, I have to look in the catalogue how many sheets, but tons. While we're here, let me grab a sheet of our general vellum, or some of it. I think it's thicker. Yeah, it's definitely slightly thicker. So this is our general vellum. Nothing that would appear different, but it is, I would say, slightly thicker. But love these really good size sheets. You can stamp on these, do all sorts with them. So I need a piece today, although I have got a scrap of one here, so I will use that up first. Let's put all of these away, and these are just, let's grab them in the catalogue again to show you in case you have missed them. Let's locate the page. They're on page 139. And they're £5.75. There's 60 sheets. So you've got 5 of each printed design and then 40 plain sheets. And they are, if you buy the Botanical Layers stamp set, they're bundled, so you save 10%. So definitely worth getting them as a bundle because you're going to save 10% on that stamp set as well. So love those. Going to be getting much more use out of those in the very near future. Oops, put those to one side. And I may well also try to remember to finish off my card with the limited edition stamp set. So adding something on the back. Remember, if you are selling your projects, your cards, you need to add, and you're using Stampin' Up images, you need to add this logo on the back. But I love that it's kind of added on a few of them here. So great set. Right, let's get going. Otherwise the morning will be gone before we know it. So very much a white space card for my first one today. As always, 5 3/4 by 8 1/4. I'm just going to simply fold it right down the middle. Just checking where Alfie was. He's right under my desk. So I had a really good sort out in the studio because Sophie held an embroidery workshop over here Saturday morning. So it gave me the excuse to have a good old tidy up around here and wash the dog bed and things like that. So I've just put that back under, and he's right under my desk, spread out. He's even had his breakfast today, which is very unusual for him. He's a bit fussy, and we kind of have to like talk him into eating a meal. It's like a bit of a game with him. So, but yeah, he quite willingly just ate his breakfast this morning, which is unusual, but I'm glad that he's had it. So, right, first of all, my next layer going on here will measure 3 3/4 by 5 3/8. That's another typical measurement for a top layer. And what I want to do with this, I'm going to pull in my Stripes and Splatters embossing folder. So this works in the little mini machine, which I'm loving using. I've been taking it over to the house when I've been doing a bit of die cutting in the house. It's so portable. And then I'm just going to run that through my machine very quickly. Oh, my arm is aching this morning. That dodgy arm turning the handle. So as you can see, this isn't as wide as my layer. I'm not worried about that at all. Really don't mind that there's a white gap either side. Can we see? Sorry, just moving my light. So it works lovely, as a lot of our folders, it works lovely on both sides. Let's put the cutting plate back in, although I've only got a little bit of die cutting to do today. Let's pull back in the beautiful shapes because they are kind of like the main focus. And I want to cut myself. I think I've already cut one, haven't I? Yes. I've already cut one, but I want a couple, well, a smaller one. So I'm going to use this double die here. Good morning, Lucianne. How are you doing? Happy catalogue launch day. Right, have I got a smaller scrap of paper just to run those through? And then I want this one here, but I'm going to use a sheet of this vellum. Okay, so I'm going to cut one in vellum. Put that to one side. I could use my mini cutting machine whilst I'm live, but I find on my grid paper it wobbles around a lot. It likes to be sat on a surface that's kind of not got paper on. What am I looking for? Washi tape. Sorry, I'm turning myself in a spin. Can I get one out of that bit there? Let's do that bit. Yeah, I just feel trying to wind the handle on top of the grid paper, it wobbles around a bit and it frustrates me. So I'm good, thank you, Lucianne. I am tired today. I know I'm saying this every week. 4:15 I woke up this morning. What is going on? 4:15, and it wasn't the ducks. It's usually the ducks that will wake me up at that time, or the pain in my leg or the pain in my arm. But this morning I woke up, it was pitch still, 4:15. Thought it's definitely way too early to be letting myself wake up. So I tried to doze back off, as you do, which doesn't really happen to me. I'm not one for doing that. When I'm awake, I like to get up. But I thought it was just way too early, even though I've had tons to do as regards sending out links to the new catalogue and stuff. Let me just cut these quickly. So yeah, 4:15. I lay there and then Jason began fidgeting at 5. So he got up and went to work. He's had to go out driving this morning. So he got up and went to work. That was close. It was right on the edge. And then I got up at about 6:15, which is kind of normal-ish time for me, 6:30. So got myself ready, came down, let Alfie out, and then sat down to my MacBook to sort out all the links and everything. So, but I feel tired already, and it's not very often this happens, but when I was making the bed this morning, I was already thinking that I can't wait to get back in it. And that is, I'm not that kind of person. I'm quite happy to get out of bed and start my day early, but I just feel tired today. Anyway, let's put these dies back where they belong. So, I mean, it was quite a full-on weekend. I say full-on. I had Sophie's workshop on Saturday morning, which was lovely. So that was my first attempt at hoop embroidery. She did a really good job. Had a lovely morning. So really, really enjoyed that. Bless her. She did really well. It was a really great workshop. She probably will be holding more. So, yeah, so that was kind of Saturday morning, and did a bit of work Saturday afternoon. So, Vicky, you're awake at 4 this morning. So you put your order in then. Yeah, I know. I need to get my skates on because otherwise there's going to be a backlog of orders. So, Kay, you were up at 10:05. Oh, it's just rotten, isn't it? I know by lunchtime we're like ready for bed. And in the evenings, just lately, the last couple of weeks, and I don't know if this is like COVID related or whether it's like age, menopausal, which, has a lot of effects on us. But when I'm waking up this early, I'm like ready for bed at 8:30 in the evening. I've turned into a real lightweight, and I kind of feel like I can't stay up late at the moment. I'm too tired, and I always describe it as my eyes have gone. I get to this point where I can't really focus. Obviously, my eyes are tired and heavy. And I'm tired. I just want to go to bed. And sometimes at 9 o'clock, I'm like, shall we go to bed? Because Jason and I always go up to bed together. I could not tell you a day that I remember where one of us goes up before the other. We always just go up together. So we're kind of waiting for each other. So if one's tired, then we both go up. So Don't know why, maybe that's strange, but we just do. Lucianne, you've been up since 6 as you're working. Yeah, I mean, I will tell you, I don't mind being up at 5. I don't mind being awake at 5. I really don't mind that. Like I said, I'm an early bird and I like to start my day, but it's at the end of the day. That's when I find it tricky. So let's do some stamping. Too much talking going on and we're going to be running out of time. Let's have a fresh sheet because we've got lots of colour. New in colours, of course, going on this one. So let's have a new sheet. So yeah, early start today. But Saturday was lovely. I've kind of, because it's been a bank holiday, I've sort of lost touch of what we did. But Sunday, Jason was out on his bike all day Saturday. Sunday, I'm going to start with Coastal Cabana and do a couple of this lovely flower. What did we do Sunday? Oh, started off the day with some gardening because there's lots to do around here. I needed to get some plants into the ground and repot. Is that going to be wide enough? Let's go a bit wider. I needed to repot some. I'm going to go wider than that as well. Let's just take this bit. Needed to repot some tomatoes in the greenhouse and get my cucumbers sorted and managed to get some things out in the ground. So I don't think we're going to have any frost now. I don't think. I hope not. Usually falling asleep about 4. Yeah, that is, they kind of call that as well the 4 o'clock slump, because I think that happens generally, doesn't it? You kind of need a bit of a pick me up. And I'm quite routine with like when I have coffee, and I usually have a coffee at about 3, half 3, and I think that kind of keeps me going. So I'm just going to stamp a couple of these flowers. I love Coastal Cabana. So I want a couple in Coastal Cabana. I'm going to clean that out on my chamois. Look at the state of it. It is clean. I've rinsed it. So I tend to just give it a press. You see it comes up nice and clean. It's just water on here. So you call it a nanny nap. Yeah. I'm not one for like day napping either. I've never been one to power nap. For me, that just makes me think that I'd be very lazy if I did that. But Sophie, I remember Soph when she was at uni, she'd always power nap. She'd go up to bed, have like half an hour, and then feel totally refreshed again. It's just not something I can do. I think I'd probably, if I dozed, I'd probably wake up feeling worse. So, right, Starry Sky. How gorgeous is this blue? Let's have a couple of these. I did a bit of rocking and rolling then. This flower is beautiful. Let's put that to one side. Lovely flower. And then Parakeet Party. I'm quite shocked that I am inking up some foliage with this, but it's just got to be done, hasn't it? I cannot avoid all the dark colours forever. Not the dark, the bright. I think there's a dot on my stamp. There is. Can you see it right there? Something stuck to it. And it's just come through there. So I want a couple of those. I think I've got some cut already. I will say when I first stamped with this colour, it just horrified me because it's so bright. For she who loves her subtles, I just thought there's no way I can use it. But now that I've done a bit more stamping with it, it is kind of growing on me a little. Right, the other thing I need, another scrap of basic white, is this lovely dotty circle. And I want this one in Starry Sky. And I'm gently going to tap on my ink. And I'm gently going to lay it down because these little dots on here, don't want to press too hard. They're very fine. And I can show you a very bad example, most probably, of if you press too hard. That was a very good example of how not to do it. So with fine line stamps and what I call delicate stamps, you need to be really gentle. You will be surprised just by gently tapping how much ink you will get on a stamp. Okay, so softly, softly with some of them, and obviously others. When you've got a solid stamp, you can afford to press a little harder. You can see that by holding a stamp with one hand, it's so easy to rock. So always bear that in mind. And to be honest, this would have worked better on a smaller block. Then what I've chosen for today's card is wishing you the best day ever. So that's from this framed occasion set. And it sits beautifully. I'm just inking it with Coastal Cabana. Let's have it a bit closer so I can see. It fits beautifully inside the circle. Love it. Get rid of that. So you can see it's just nice and delicate, those dots. Right, I just need to cut that one out. Let's move that to one side. So of course, this is the die that cuts that one out. And you can see by holding it over, hopefully my stamp was mounted just about okay. Bring the plates in and tape it down. But yeah, I feel like I'm always saying to Jason, when he steps in from work, which is any time between 6 and sort of 7 generally, he steps in and we have dinner. I'm like, I need to have an early night tonight. Such a lightweight. I've turned into a real lightweight, but I'm pretty sure it's a phase I'm going through in my life, this tiredness thing. And I'm hoping it will pass very soon. So. The trouble is as well, our bodies are like clockwork, aren't they? So even at the weekend, we were still awake at the crack of dawn. And it doesn't really help that the ducks think that it's fine to like live their best life at 4 in the morning and splash around on the pond and do their duck calls to the other ducks. They don't really care. They're just having a good time. So, and that will quite often wake us up, the ducks splashing around. But I'm thankful that I get to hear it because I think it is lovely. Right, let's do a little bit of fussy cutting. We'll have a couple of flowers and some foliage. Now these aren't too tricky to cut around. I don't find them too challenging. I'm just going to have a quick drink. But what I do find tricky sometimes is getting into the nooks and crannies that you can't see, and I'll show you that in a minute. So you're cutting around and you get to a point where you can't see where to cut because part of your image is in the way. So prime example here. So I'm getting to this point, I can't see to cut that line. It's a bit tricky, so I have to turn it to a side. Hello, Alfie dog. Have you been out having an adventure? He's just staring at me, bless him. So Sophie's been back to get Archie this morning, but she was back before I went live, so I brought Alfie over with me. She's busy over there packing orders. I'm very proud of my daughter. She hit 40,000 sales on Instagram at the weekend. Not 40,000 sales, 40,000 followers. And she only started her business during the first lockdown. So in 2 years, she has gathered herself 40,000 followers. I think that's just amazing. I've only just hit 2,000 and I find it a struggle. So, right, let's trim around these flowers. These flowers, there's nothing uniform about these petals. So just like keep turning your paper. They're kind of like higgledy-piggledy Higgledy, is that the right word? Higgledy. I don't know. They're just kind of not very uniform shaped petals. There's no flow when you're cutting. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. They're not like round, nice round curved edges there. Well, they are round and curved. Kind of contradicting myself now, but they're not very uniform. So, but they're quick and easy to cut around. We don't need dies and punches for everything. We've got our good old scissors that help us. And you know that I'm happy to sit and fussy cut all day. I know it's not for everybody, but I do enjoy it. So that was pretty quick. Okay, so I've got a couple that I did earlier because I didn't want to bore you. And I think we can start building. So there's nothing rocket science about this card in any way. I know I say that a lot. I just like to create. I'm not a massive technique person. I just want to share ideas, really. So, Kate, people across the road from you have a cockerel. Oh my goodness, no. I can imagine the noise, yes. My son's neighbour across the way from them, they have a cockerel. And yeah, very noisy. Our neighbours have chickens, but they're quite a way away from us. And they've got sheep at the moment. So I don't mind listening to noises like that. And I don't dislike listening to the duck, but at 4 a.m, when you would just like to sleep in a little bit longer, it can be a bit annoying. I think sometimes I kind of just zone it out. Zone it out and try and do my I do like when I'm awake in the night and I just cannot get back to sleep. I do all these silly things. I do counting and breathing exercises, and I think sometimes it does work. It does help. It kind of like tries to distract the brain from everything that's going around in it. So Lucianne, you need to have a play with the new in colours and the stamp set you got. That's great. Yeah, I am loving the new in colours. I was really pleased with, where's last week's snakes? Really pleased with the Sweet Sorbet, teaming it with Coastal Cabana. So I'm excited to team some of the new in colours with other colours, not necessarily use them all in one go, because that's quite a challenge for me because they are quite bright. But like today we're using Starry Sky and I'm teaming it with Coastal Cabana, but I have also pulled in another in colour. But yeah, loving it. Always love to have some fresh new things to play with. Right, I'm going to start with a hexagon. Where's my Tombow? I'm going to pop some Tombow on the back and I'm going to lay it down, halfway down roughly, over to the left hand side of my card. You know, I'm a country girl. I was brought up in a small rural area in a village. We had a really small school. We did actually have a village shop in those days. There is no longer a shop there. There is nothing there. There isn't even a school there anymore. They merged the school with another. So I'm kind of used to countryside. I don't think I'll ever be like a city person. Don't think that will be me. So I don't mind all the noises and the smells, the farm smells. So I'm going to pop some mini dimensionals behind. Oop, got the back and left the main part behind. On the back of my greeting. And I'm going to pop that one. Actually, before I put that down, I'll pop this vellum one. Good morning, Kate. How are you doing? Don't worry about being late. I'm hoping, well, I'm going to be live at 2 p.m. in the VIP group with another share for you today, Kate. So I know that you are in that group. So if you are about, and then I'm hoping to be live later this evening as well. It Could be later this evening, it could be late afternoon, but whatever happens, it will be there and anybody can catch on the replay. So with my vellum, I just attached a bit of Tombow at the very top of it. This is kind of like hovering in there, but it's not going anywhere because it's anchored down here. Remember, vellum will show your adhesive through, so you've got to be a bit careful. And I'm just going to pop my greeting kind of in the middle, roughly in the middle of my card. Like that. Okay, wishing you the best day ever. This is a greeting that will be lovely, like chopped up as well and splitting it up. Yes, I know you love crafting with the brownies, don't you, Lucianne? I think that's great because children just love it, don't they? They just love it. So talking of children, we had a 7-year-old at the embroidery workshop on Saturday morning, and she did incredibly well. 7 years old, and as the needles aren't sharp, she was quite safe doing it, but gosh, she did so well. So, and kids just love to craft, don't they? You often hear me talking about Vivi, how when she comes here, she's one of the first things she says is, "Can we craft, Nanny?" Of course. Yes, of course, we can always craft. And her attention span is quite long when we're crafting as well. So take your pick tool, more than just a pick-up tool and a paper piercer and everything else. It's great for shaping your die cuts. So what I'm going to do next is take my final little hexagon. Yeah, your brownies love it. I am sure they do. Years ago, when not long after I joined Stampin' Up, I did a brownies session. The one thing I do remember is that they used a lot of glue. So they love glue, don't they, children? I know Vivi's the same. She just like plasters on the glue and she just wants to stick everything on. Doesn't matter what it is, she just wants to stick it on the paper. Okay, next I'm going to add in my foliage, and I think I might pop, just so that these kind of stay popped up a bit, a dimensional at the top of each one where the largest leaf, oops, that one doesn't want to come off, so just at the top of each one. And then we can add a little bit of Tombow at the base to anchor it down. Bent that one slightly, but put a little bit of glue there. And we'll start with one over this side. Not really sure where, but I don't think it really matters too much. Don't think I'm going to put glue on this one because I'm going to add in a flower and it will kind of anchor it. And then we're going to add a third one coming over this way, round about like that. So we've just got a little cluster of very bright leaves, which, as I've said, it's growing on me. Ellie, never let a brownie loose with a bottle of Tombow. No, I learnt that one very quickly. I think I bought, I don't know, 8 or 10 bottles of Tombow for this very large group of brownies. And I can actually remember the project we did. It was a Valentine themed evening and they were making something for their mums. Or was it for Mother's Day? I can't remember. But yeah, they got through a lot of Tombow. It was a very expensive learning curve for me that evening. You know, but like I keep saying, this is how we learn. This is what makes us what we are. I'm going to pop these two on here. So, a bit of Tombow on that one, share it with its neighbour and just hide the stems that are underneath, like that. Then again, I'm using the elegant trim, Simply Elegant trim. Last week I used the gold. This week I'm going to use the silver. And I've also got some rhinestones as well. What I'm going to do with this, I need to get my glue dots. I want to make a little loop. So I'm going to get my glue dots and I like to kind of fold them back one at a time because they are on the inside. When we used to sell glue dots and the glue dot was on the outside of the roll, but now they are on the inside. Hopefully you can see that. So what I tend to do is fold one back at a time. And what I'm going to do is pull this out. I'm going to pinch it between my thumb and forefinger, and I'm going to wrap it around 2 fingers and pinch it. Then take in a 3rd finger, wrap it again and pinch it. Pull my fingers out, might go a little bit crazy, and then I'm still holding on to that bit. Did you get that? I'll do it again. Let's move that out of the way so maybe you can see with a blank background under. So I'm pinching a piece between my thumb and forefinger, wrapping it around 2 fingers and securing it. Then wrapping it around 3 fingers and keeping it pinched, letting go, keeping that pinched. Going to trim off the end. Still got that piece pinched, and I'm going to hold that, hard to do this in the air, over my glue dot so that they all stay together. Okay, I'm going to pick it up and pinch it so they're all together. Then I'm going to turn it over and add a glue dot on the other side, so that if I pinch that now, that should be pretty secure and it's not going anywhere. We just end up with a little double loop, and then just to make sure it's not going anywhere, we're going to pick up another one. Oh, it's stretched on the back. Let's just fold that over. My nail got stuck to it. Then I'm going to lift up this corner and just tuck that under and press it down so that we get this little loop of silver twine. It's kind of just like adding a bit of balance and trying to open the end where there isn't anything. Adding a bit of balance and a bit of interest and a bit of texture as well. Lucianne, let's have a drink. You give your brownies glue dots. That's a very good one. Less messy, more cost effective. Oops, I just unrolled the glue dots everywhere. Right, my putty here is getting a bit pushed about. So I'm going to add some of these to the centres. I'm going to take a medium size and then the small. Who doesn't love the take your pick tool? It is brilliant. Just add these in. I need to add another pack of these rhinestones to my order today because with all these flowers I'm doing, I am getting through them quite rapid. So there we go, lots of white space. To be honest, I could have added in this little stamp here and just created some dots, but I don't mind that there's lots of white space going on. Bit of glitz. Could have done a bit of splattage with a marker pen, or like I did last week with the water painter. So, and just a bit of vellum for something a bit different. So hope you've enjoyed that one. It's my original, pretty much the same. Will always look slightly different depending on how you arrange your foliage and where your flowers go. Right, let's bring in the next one. So a bit more colour on the next one. I've got some Starry Sky. This to me is it's like a very purpley blue. Let me get some Orchid Oasis. It does make it look a lot bluer, but oh, they're just so dreamy. Love them. I mean, this is definitely my favourite in colour, Orchid Oasis. I nearly said Orchid Opulence. Does anyone remember that colour? It was a lot paler, wasn't it? Do remember that. Right, I've cut a few bits ready. Also cut myself a strip from the In Colour paper pack. Little piece of DSP, no specific measurement lengthwise, I don't think. It's 3 1/4 by 3/4. Okay, so small doses. And I've also cut the largest of the hexagon, that one there. Cut one of those out. Got a couple of other bits to do, and obviously I've cut these Starry Sky ones out already. Right, let us start with our base. So I'm really pleased, I managed to get a bit of gardening done over the weekend. I put, a couple of weeks ago, actually it was the last bank holiday, I put a load of chicken pellets down on my kitchen garden, on my veggie garden. But you have to wait 2 weeks. Once you've put those pellets into the ground, you have to wait 2 weeks before you can plant anything. So the 2 weeks were up, so I was able to get in some potatoes, which I'm a bit late. I'm just late with everything this year. I'm annoyed with myself, but life's kind of just got in the way. So I got some potatoes in, I put in some butternut squash, some courgettes, some carrots, some leeks, some peas, some lettuce. I think that was about it. And then cucumbers and tomatoes in the greenhouse. And I've got my runner bean plants in the greenhouse. I just need to move my runner bean sticks to another bed because you have to rotate. And I believe the reason is because you don't want... oh, now my brain is gone. Wanted to explain it. So the soil can get, if you like plant potatoes in the same plot that you did last year, there could be, I cannot get, what is the word? It's not infection. The word will not come out. But anyway, you don't plant things in the same bed, so you have to rotate. It will come to me in a minute. So card base as normal. Going to do the stamping first, and then we'll do some die cutting, some embossing, and then we will cut out. I think we can lay this lovely Starry Sky layer down first though. So yeah, I feel super pleased that I got that done. Jason did loads of strimming around the garden. So it's not just the cutting that takes forever. Everything is kind of just sprung. All of the weeds and... like down in the stream, it gets really overgrown down in there, so it looks much neater and tidier now. But I've still got, wanted it to wash off my greenhouse with the power washer at the weekend. I didn't get to that, so hopefully one evening in the week we might get to that. But still lots of other stuff to do as well. Need to get the people in to come and spray the drive as well, because as I've said, we had like a bit of heat, we've had a bit of rain, and the weeds are coming with a vengeance. So yeah, cannot keep on top of it. So right, first of all, we're going to bring back in this one. Gently tap and gently press down. Wondering if I might choose another greeting. We've got to a happy future ahead and thankful we are friends. Let's choose thankful we are friends. As much as I love that one, wishing you the best day ever, let's try a different one so that we've got a different card. I've got a bit of something grubby adhesive on there. This block wants a clean. And we'll do this one again in Coastal Cabana. It's not going to quite fill the circle like the other one does, but love that script. Thankful we are friends. And of course, remember, you can always chop up these greetings and use just parts of the words. Let's cut that one off. Get some other stamping done. Move you out of the way. Right, I've got some bits cut out, so the only other thing I need to stamp is this gorgeous bit of foliage here. I do love that we've got this variety of kind of foliage. Such a great set. Such a lovely one. Right, Coastal Cabana. This is pretty, this one. So we got 2 of those. Imagine this done if you inked this up with a dauber in different colours. How pretty would that look? Really, really pretty. Right, I need to cut these out, but I've got other bits done ready. I think I just need to do a bit of embossing. We'll cut that one out now and then it's done. And yeah, so spent a bit of time in the garden. I'm super sad that the wind is just blowing all of the blossom off of the trees. I think I was telling you last week, because I had Evsy on Monday and telling her it looked like snow coming down, but the blossom is still coming. There is blossom appearing on some of the different trees, on the fruit trees, which is really pretty. But the cherry trees, they've dropped. They've dropped, and not even dropped anything, everything, because there's 2 large, like, cherry trees here, and they're just so messy. Gently pull that washi off. How beautiful is that? Good morning, Judy. How are you? Lovely to have you join us on this lovely catalogue launch day. So if you are new, you're hopping on, if you head over to my Facebook page, you will find a link to my website where you can actually view the PDF version of the catalogue. Obviously, if you're on my mailing list, some of you I know I'm going to be seeing soon, you'll be getting your catalogues in your hands, which is super exciting. But for now, it's good just to take a look online and have a little browsy. Right, I'm going to pop these hexagons. Which way do I want them? Have them all with the flat piece at the top. Remember, had to move, didn't it? And now the static's got all of them. Remember, oh, I just want it to be straight. Stay. The hinge goes in first. That will prolong the life of your embossing folder. Run that through quickly. And it moved, but that's fine. It will just be a bit crooked. Not worried about that. So then we've got 3 lovely embossed hexagons to play with. And I think we can start building up. So I've got a few bits that I was fussy cutting over the weekend. And I mean, that is nothing. I have been fussy cutting a lot. Those are just for today's projects. So I've got more to do later. Right, let us start with this lovely piece of, let me show you the patterns again on these. So we have a stripy side and a floral side. And then a lovely kind of gingham and a spot. I love the patterns on these papers. And obviously this side, you've got a much paler colour that it's kind of teamed with. So even though they're the same colour, there's not as much of it because it's only on the darker lines on there. So love that paper. So you could get that for free in your starter kit if you join. Got a whole month to join with that offer, but you know, like I said in my post, why wait? Why wait for some extra free goodies, especially new in colours? Join today. If you want to ask anything about joining, please do just get in touch. You know, there's no pressure to do anything. You know that. I tell you that all the time. Right, so I'm just adding on that little border. Let's just check it straight. Now we're going to take this, that's quite a big layer, this hexagon, this die. They're quite big pieces, so you've got plenty of scope with what you can put on here. I'm going to add that one onto my, just on top of my paper strip there, and then pull in my greeting and add some dimension to it. So, anybody got a favourite stamp set yet? Anyone on here who's not a demonstrator, who's just had a look at the catalogue for the first time, what's jumping out at you? I mean, I really should have placed an order first thing, because shipping can be a little bit hit and miss at the minute. We've had a few problems with a couple of things getting stuck, but maybe when I've finished, I will get my first one of the day through. Remember, if you're local as well and you don't want to order yourself and pay the £6.95, I can add anything to my order. I can post it direct if that works out cheaper for you, or most of you that are local come and collect your orders or have them at a class. So I'm just really roughly and quickly going around. That was a bit of a harsh cut. I'm not going in all the nooks and crannies. You don't need to. That's okay. You don't need to be super precise, go in every little gap of white space. Just trim around. Turn your paper, open and close your scissors. That was a bit close. That one was too. Oh, the birds are singing away out there. They're so noisy. I mean, I'm upstairs, the door is open downstairs. The sound is travelling up, it's lovely. Right, let's give these a bit of life. Right, what should we start with? Let's put these hexagons on first. So now I've probably stuck my hexagon way too high, but I am not going to worry about that. It will have to go there like that. That's fine. I should have put this larger white one down at the bottom, but we're not going to worry about it. I just want to get them on. How have I'm pulling it off. No, I'm not. I'm just going to leave it. I was being a bit OCD then, and I wanted all of my stripes to go the same way, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, and they're not lined up. Stay. But it's fine. And this one I want to just chop in half, and I'm going to pop it in. No, I can't. I'm going to do it by eye. I'm going to cut from like point to point. So I've just got half of one. And just pop that one down there. Which looks a bit daft now on my, I think I've done this too high, but that's fine. Could have probably put a whole one down there. But you know what? It'll be different to my original, so doesn't matter. Okay, joining Stampin' Up is brilliant, and the added offer is fantastic. Yeah, it's a great thing to do without the great offer that comes with it. So don't hesitate. Don't think you're going to be like pushed into doing something you don't want to. Just take advantage of the great offer and be part of something special. Definitely something special. If it wasn't, I wouldn't still be here 12.5 years down the line. Right, let us put in a bit of foliage first. Now, as I like to do on these leaves, I'm going to add dimensionals to the biggest leaf at the top. And I'm just gonna, oop, back stuck to me. Pop one up there, one down below. And then from my little pot, we'll have a couple of Starry Sky and a Coastal Cabana. Put the lid back on. Okay, you like Sending Smiles and Abigail Rose. I know, Abigail Rose is delicious. I'm definitely having that. Sending Smiles, we were allowed to pre-order early, but I was trying to be careful. So it may well go in my basket today. We'll see. Probably a lot more will go in than what I'm planning to. Right, we're going to pop a bit of Tombow on these two and just lay them up here. Move that one out a bit so we can still read the sentiment. Don't want that one, I want another Coastal Cabana. Now I do find that I'm using a lot of rhinestones. And we'll pop one down here just to kind of balance it out. And then dimensionals under here. Yeah, I'm using a lot of rhinestones, all these flowers that I'm doing. So the cards that I did last week with the cup of tea, I was using up all of my metallic dots. And they, you know, you get through a lot when you're doing little flowers. So I need to find like a small circle die from my die sets that I could use as the center of a flower. So if you are like running low, oops, that's not the bin. If you are running low on your embellishments, you know, make a paper embellishment. Use a die cut of a small circle. Right, we're gonna pop those in there. Like that. Add in some bling. And then we're nearly there. What I'm trying to think what the other die set is that I really want as well. It's the one that's on the front cover. Happiness Abounds. Let me find it. Page 109. Love this one too. Absolutely adore, and I love the dies. I love those edgy dies. Yeah, that's another one I'm trying to resist at the moment. I don't think the temptation will last long to resist, but right, I'm going to use that. I've got some large ones in here. I'm going to use up just one of these. Are we even in shot? Yeah. I do find when you're doing trios like this, that large one is quite big, but it's not big enough. If I show you, it's not big enough on its own to cover the dots underneath. But if you've got the Stampin' Blends, I guess you could colour in the dots and then just put one large embellishment over the centre, because as you can see, I'm using an awful lot of rhinestones. Right, this one we'll just put 3 small. Always give them a little press down after, because the putty on here kind of lifts them back up a little. And then to finish, oh Alfie, that was a big sigh under there. We will add in a bow. I feel like I haven't used my linen thread for a long time, and you know how much I love that. Right, give that a real tight pull so it's secure, because it's quite slippery and slidey, this twine. I'm just going to trim the edge off in my bin. Grab another glue dot. He just heard me talk about him. He's gone off to have a scratch. in disgust. Bless him. Pop that one down. Pop the bow on top. Got those nice flyaway tails. I might trim those a little bit, but I love a bit of flancy bow going on. So there we are. Yeah, Kay, happiness abounds. It is gorgeous, isn't it? Show you my original. So I was a bit better at placing. Oh, do you know what I've done? I can see why it's different, but that's fine. When I cut my hexagons to start with, because I pre-cut this one before I came live, I should have used that one and I cut the large one, but I think it works quite nicely. So they're slightly different, the same but different. So yeah, I love these colours as well, Kay. I'm glad you like them. I didn't think I was going to be able to use the Parakeet Party very much, but I think teaming it with the Starry Night, I really do like it. Love it with the Coastal Cabana as well. So I am constantly on a hunt for new colour combinations with these new in colours. So let's finish off. Grab a block. Bit of a wobble there. Just going to fold that back on itself so it lays flat. And which one should we use? I'm going to have to blow my nose, sorry. It's got to be hay fever. Got to be. One can't have a cold as long as this. Last time I used Handcrafted from the Heart. Let's use this one because it is really pretty. Not sure how straight it will stamp. Let's find round block. Let's have a little practice. I think we'll use Starry Sky because that will stand out nicely on the back of the card. So what I'm going to do is line up the word Stampin' Up with a line on my grid and see just how straight it comes out. Now can you see it's slightly going to the right? So if I stamp it again and then slightly twist it to the left, should be a bit straighter. So let's try. Move you out of the way. Got a nice good coverage, so I need to twist it slightly to the left. It's just where I obviously haven't, so I'm just twisting it a bit. Inked up, stuck my sticker on that straight. How pretty is that? How nice would that look on the back of your cards? Yes, Lucy Ann, the limited edition is, I think it's £18. Let's have a look if I put it on mine. Yeah, £18. And you will find it on, just locating page 119. So it talks to us about the angel policy a bit on there as well. So really cute, £18. And some examples of how you can use it. Okay. Move these dark inks out the way, they always scare me. So hope you've enjoyed my makes. Love this colour combo. I'm always loving, aren't I? But what's not to love about our product? So we've got a lot of white space going on this one, and then quite a deep colour going on this one. So I hope you've enjoyed my little share today. I've got more to share with this stamp set. I'm going to be live in my VIP group. So if you are one of my VIP customers, I'll be live at 2 o'clock for another card share with you. And then I will be back later this evening. I'll be posting about that. I don't know, I would really like to have a play with this today, but I do not know if I'm going to get a chance. I've got a lot to get done. We shall see. We shall see. And I'm super excited for my new set of dies to come. Those stitched ones, the stylish shapes. They're called Stylish Shapes. Let's find them again. I did make a little marker in my book. Stylish Shapes. So excited to play with those. Anyway, I need a coffee. I'm going to go over and see how Sophie's getting on, packing all of her orders, and I will be back with you all very soon. So thank you so much for joining me. I love having you here. I love being here with you. I love reading your messages on my YouTube channel, and I love that you thank me for being here, because that means such a lot. I do this because I love it. I do this because I love sharing my creative side, but to know that you love it too, it just means a lot. So thank you everybody, and I will be back very soon with some new products to share with you. So take care and bye for now.